guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you 5 super easy Christmas DIYs on a budget that I think you're really going to enjoy. If you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. Okay, I got these cute little dress forms on Amazon. You get 5 in a pack, and I'm just going to spray paint all of them with a matte black Krylon paint. Then I'm just taking some greenery and I'm going to attach it from the waist down to make a skirt. Now you can use any kind of greenery you want. I got this on Amazon and you get a lot of it. And I'll give you the link for that below. But you could use garland or anything that's greenery. And just go ahead and keep attaching it until you get it as full as you want. And then I'm going to go back in and start adding some smaller pieces as well. So this is a good way to use up some scrap greenery that you have. Because once I get all these pieces put in here, I'm going to start cutting them and just kind of going up underneath the skirt to make it fuller. And if you watch the one I did at the very end of the video, I actually made a skirt form out of chipboard, and I'll give you the link for that in the description below, and you could actually do a dress like what I'm going to show you at the very end of my video as well. Then you go ahead and cut all the little sprigs off till they're even, and then go ahead and take your pliers and bend them in because you want to have room to put your waistband on. Then I'm just taking a piece of white fleece. I'm going to wrap it around there just to the length that or the height that my ribbon is. And this is just going to be able to cinch it up a little bit tighter so that she has a defined waistline. And just kind of pull it snug as you're gluing that because you want that waistline to be snug and pulled in. Okay, next I'm just going to take some ribbon that I got at Hobby Lobby, and this is just a jeweled ribbon, and I'm just going to wrap it right around the waist. And then just go ahead and glue it in. But you want to make sure that your fleece is completely covered up, that it's not sticking up over the top. Okay, next I'm just going to take a red ribbon and I'm just going to tie it in a bow. And I'm going to leave some tails on both sides to hang down the dress. And then we're just going to attach it to the side of the dress. And then just go ahead and glue that on. Okay, next I'm just going to take some little miniature pine cones and I'm just going to put them randomly around the dress, kind of evenly spaced out, some towards the top, the middle, and the bottom. And you can add as many as you want. I added a pretty good bit. This was so super easy. You could modify this and style it however you want to. I always wanted one of these dress forms with a Christmas tree, but a mini one, it'll work for me this year. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This next one, I'm using the little dice from the Dollar Tree. You get 3 in a pack. And I'm just going to make sure that all my wood lines are going the same way, that they kind of have the same pattern on them. And we're going to start with 5 on the bottom. And we're just going to glue those together with wood glue. But just take some time to make sure that they look good side by side. And just put a little bit of wood glue and just going to start attaching them. And then we're going to do a row of 4 and a row of 3. And then I'm just going to take a Q-tip and I'm just going to get the excess glue off. And then I'm going to go ahead and build my 4 row. Just make sure your blocks look good together. Okay, then we're going to do a 3 row. And what I'm doing there is I'm just trying to find 3 that match well. Okay, then we're going to take 2 Jenga blocks and we're going to glue them together on the short side. And we're going to do that to 2 sets of them. And just be sure and clean any excess glue off. And this is the little frame that we're building to put our the number countdown blocks in. Okay, we're going to let all that dry, and then we're going to start building it up. Okay, we're going to start with our 5, and we're going to put our 4 centered on it. So we're just going to do the edges of each of the blocks, because that's the only place that that's going to sit. If you put it in the center, you're going to see it through your blocks. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with the third. Just kind of make sure that, you know, step back and look at them, make sure that they are straight. And then we're going to center the 3 on top of that. Then we're going to start taking our Jenga blocks, and we're going to start building the frame for our numbers. So we're just going to go ahead and center that right in the center on those 3 blocks. And then we're going to build a frame around it. So go ahead and glue it down on the bottom. And then let it dry good. Then we're going to take 2 more Jenga blocks. We're going to go to the very edge. Go ahead and put your 2 blocks up there. And then mark just above where that block lands. You want to go a little bit higher than that when you cut those off, because you want to make sure you can get your blocks in and out of that spot. And then just make sure both of them are cut the same length so that they will stand up evenly together. And then just go ahead and cut them there, and then we're going to go ahead and glue them on. And you're just going to the very edge. Just make sure that your block does fit good before you glue it in. And then we're going to go ahead and start gluing them in. And we're just going to glue them right to the edge of those pieces that we glued down on top of those blocks. And we're using wood glue on this as well. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and attach some wood glue to the bottom. And I'm just going to attach these to a 2" by 2" piece of wood. And I got that at Lowe's. It's a hardwood. Just kind of center it on there, make sure it's even. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish out the frame. I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit of wood glue on each side. And then I'm going to attach a little hot glue as well, just to hold it in place. And then I'm just going to attach my last block right in the center on top. Just don't put too much wood glue because you will see it. And then after that dries, I'm going to take the whole thing outside and I'm going to spray paint it with a matte black Krylon paint. Now the blocks that I'm using for the numbers, I'm going to go ahead and paint those with a Waverly chalk paint in white. And then these are the numbers you're going to use. The top row is going to be on 1 block. The second row is going to be on a 2nd block. And then you won't have a 6 because your 9 will go upside down to make a 6. And then I'm just going to go ahead and I cut my numbers off of my Cricut. You can find numbers anywhere if you don't have a Cricut. They sell them on sticker pages at Hobby Lobby and Michael's. But you can pretty much find them anywhere. I think even Dollar Tree has some number stickers. But just make sure you get them put on there real good and they don't come off. And then just get them all put on. Next, I'm just going to dress it up a little bit with a little bit of greenery and a little bit of ribbon. I'm just going to tie a bow on my ribbon and tie it to the bottom of it. And then I'm just using 2 little sprigs of greenery just attached right to the bottom also. Just right in the center, just meeting in the middle. And then just attach your bow. Okay, next I'm just going to take a snowflake and I'm just going to paint it white with some chalk paint. And I'm just going to glue it to the very top block. This is a very neutral piece. If you decorate neutral, let me know in the comments below. I am really happy with this piece. I can't wait to set it up for the holidays. And this one, we're going to just take one of the metal ornament signs from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to heat it up, the top part, to get that top off of it. Just don't burn yourself. And then go ahead and remove the paper if you want to. And then I'm taking some of the decorative contact paper from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to attach it. Or I think this is wallpaper is what they actually call it. So just kind of make sure it's centered on your board real good, flip it over, and then go ahead and trace your ornament out. And then we're going to cut away from the line a little bit, not on the line. And then we'll trim it out with an X-Acto knife here in a little bit. And then I'm using another piece on the top, but don't waste your time because I didn't end up using it. I took it back off because it really didn't work and it wasn't necessary. Just make sure you do get it lined up good and then go ahead and push that down real tight. So don't even waste your time on that part right there. Okay, then we're just going to flip it over. We're going to get a cutting board and we're just going to get an X-Acto knife and we're just going to cut all the way around as close to the edge of that ornament as you can. Try not to cut into the ornament. I did do that a couple of times. Just try to go around the edge. And then once you get it completely cut out, then we're going to go ahead and attach our metal piece back onto it. Now that metal piece didn't fit this exactly and it didn't from when I bought it. So go ahead and trim it out so you do have a nice finished look at the top part too. And then we're just going to go ahead and glue that on. Okay, next I'm just going to add some little greenery sprigs. And I got these on Amazon. I'll give you the link for those in the description below. We're just going to kind of glue them in across there. And then I only did 5 of them at first. And then I came back in and put a 6th one in. Just kind of hold it there for a little bit because they are pretty thick and it will take them a second to dry. And then just go ahead and cut the 2 center ones off. And then go ahead and glue that last one in. Okay, next I'm going to take some Jenga blocks and a piece of wood and I'm going to make a shelf. So I'm just going to go across there with 4 and then I'm just going to cut one of them short. And that's just a little wooden plank that I got at Dollar Tree. Now I'm just going to paint it white and the Jenga blocks white as well with a chalk paint. Then I'm just going to take the Jenga blocks, I'm going to attach them standing up on the bottom so that when you put your shelf down, it's laying flat with the ornament. Just make sure that you get these straight. And then I'm going to add some E6000 glue to the bottom and some hot glue to attach it to the ornament itself. Just kind of make sure it's level. I'm just leveling mine with that line that's on the paper. And then I'm just taking some of these deer that I got at the dollar spot at Target. I got 3 of them for $3 and I'm just going to go ahead and glue them to this platform. And then I'm going to take some greenery and just kind of fill in around them just to kind of really dress it up. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a mock-up of it first. And then I'm going to come in and glue it in. It makes it a little bit easier for me to do a mock-up first. And you don't need a lot of glue because it's already sitting on a platform. And you don't have to worry so much about this being heavy because those little deer are just real light. Okay, next I'm just adding a black and white checked ribbon to the bottom. And this is going to cover up the Jenga blocks. Just kind of open it up a little bit and then we're just going to go ahead and glue it in and we're going to glue it to the Jenga blocks too so it does cover it up completely. And then I'm taking the black ribbon and I'm just going to tie it around the top. And that's what I'm going to hang it with. Just pull it on up there and then just tie it in a knot. All right, this one was a pretty easy one too. It turned out super cute. I really like this one. Just kind of simple, but a little bit elegant. Next one, I'm going to take a 1x3 and I'm going to measure 4 inches from the end, and then I'm going to cut another 4 inches. And I'm just going to take these out to the saw and saw them. And this is going to be the base for our candlesticks. Then I'm going to paint all this with a metallic black paint, and those are 3-inch circles, the solid ones, and 2-inch circles for the open ones. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and measure and get right in the center because I'm going to drill a hole right in the center to put my stick in. And I'm using a 1/4-inch dowel rod to hold all this together. Okay, so I'm just going to take a 1/4-inch drill bit and I'm just going to drill right through the center of it. Okay, next I'm going to take some E6000 glue and I'm just going to glue my ring right to the center of these bases. And I'm going to use a little hot glue to hold it in place while it dries. Next I'm going to take my dowel rod and I'm going to go ahead and sharpen it with a pencil sharpener. And then I'm taking my 2 circles and I'm going to go ahead and glue those together. And this is going to be for the top part. And then I'm going to glue those to the 3-inch solid circle there too. Okay, next I'm going to take my ornaments. I'm going to go ahead and take the top part off and I'm going to go ahead and cut the little tab down on those. And I'm just taking some pliers to cut those down. You cut them all the way down to they're flush with the ornament. And I got these at Hobby Lobby. They're just plastic ornaments. Okay, then I'm going to take my hot glue gun and just kind of open up that hole a little bit. And then I'm going to drill it open a little bit bigger with a 1/4-inch drill bit. It just kind of smooths it out and flattens it out a little bit. And then just go right through it with a drill bit. Just kind of open it up. Take your time on this. Don't go too fast because you don't want to crack your ornament. And then I'm going to just leave it onto my drill, and I'm going to mark the center of the opposite side. Now, it may not be exact, but it's pretty close. And then I'm going to take my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to try to open up that hole so that I can go ahead and do a drill bit through that too. It just kind of melts it open so that you can drill through it again. Just kind of take your time on that. Okay, now I'm going to take my dowel stick and I'm just going to stick it right through the center of it, all the way out through the opposite side. And then just go ahead and pull it almost all the way down because that's going to go onto our base. And then do the same thing for the other 2 ornaments. Just mark your center. And then just heat it up with a glue gun and then drill back through it. And then you're just going to put it right on that same rod, and you're going to do the same thing with the other one as well. Just try not to push so hard because you don't want to crack your ornament. And then I did put a little spot of glue between the 2 ornaments. Okay, once you get it level and straight, we're going to go ahead and clip the tip off the end, and then we're going to go ahead and glue it in place. Just make sure it's level, and then just go ahead and glue it in. We're just going to glue it in with wood glue. And you can use as much as you want to on this part right here because you're not going to see it. It's going to be covered up by that ring. And then we're just going to glue the top part to this I'm going to put a little bit of glue around that rod just to make sure it doesn't lift up. And then I'm just going to go ahead and glue the top part on. Okay, then I'm going to come back in with some greenery, and I'm going to put some greenery right around the bottom. I'm just going to take one of my little sprigs and just kind of make a U shape around it. And then I'm going to fill in the back where it didn't completely seal in. And I ended up making 2 of these candlestick holders. I just thought that they looked really good in pairs. And then we're going to put an LED light on top. You don't want to put a heavy candle on top. Make sure that you put a light LED on top of this. All right, these turned out super cute. I was real happy with these. I'm definitely going to use these year round. This one we're going to use one of those dress forms too. And I'm giving you the pattern for this skirt, and you can cut it out of chipboard, but you need to go ahead and break the fibers up with some kind of a piece of rod or something like that, just to kind of make it curve. And then we're just going to glue this right into the back. Just center in the back and make sure that it is in the back. And then we're going to glue it to the dress form itself. Okay, next I'm going to take this greenery. I'm just going to wrap it around the top part area for her top. Go ahead and glue it in. And then just wrap it around several times until it's complete. You just want to leave a little bit in the middle so that you can come back in and put a waistband on her. We're going to tie a ribbon around her waist. Okay, next I'm going to start at the waistband, and I'm just going to start wrapping this furry yarn all the way around. Now go ahead and pull tight in the waist because you want her waist to be pulled in. And then as you're going around, you don't have to pull it so tight. Just kind of go along with the cardboard piece because you do want it to flare out. And then just go ahead and cut off the back and glue it down. Next, I'm going to just take a ribbon and I'm just going to tie it around her waist. And I'm going to tie it pretty snug, and I'm going to tie a bow right in the center. And then I'm going to take a piece of bling bling ribbon, and I'm just going to tie it around her neck like it's a choker. Okay, next I'm going to take a little stringer of fairy lights, and I'm just going to wrap it around her dress. In each one of those little indents, so you can kind of camouflage it in there. And then when you get to the very top in the back, just go ahead and tuck it in. And then we're going to go ahead and glue the bottom part into the dress. Just lightly glued, just in case you need to change the batteries. All right, pretty easy. If you like this video, be sure and give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see future videos, be sure and subscribe. And if you want to be notified when I have another video, hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it.